I make 2K every month by doing nothing, and here's how. When I was younger, I was always drawn to the videos and articles about people making passive income or money for doing nothing. Trust me, I am human too. And we are hardwired to want the maximum from life coming from minimal input. That is where this sweet passive income comes to life. Now, I saw a video recently about someone who gets $1,000 a month from doing nothing, and I thought, well, I wonder where I am now with that. A few years ago, I realized that my dividends had become over 5% of my salary from when I was employed. That was pretty eye-opening for me, and I hadn't even realized that it had happened. But I had a look at my MyIR and I could see that the dividends that I'd received had actually added up to 5% of what used to be my income when I was an employee before I quit my job and went out on my own path. Now, since then, I've continued to invest, and as interest rates have risen over the last couple of years, it's made it easier to get a return from parking money at the bank as a term deposit. But one of the massive light bulb moments for me was when my interest income from the bank was enough to actually cover my gym membership. This might not sound like much to you, $20 a week, but it felt different for me. It felt meaningful because all of a sudden it became tangible. If I could save money, invest it, and get a return on that money, my investment effectively had the bank have to pay me for my gym membership. What the hell else was then possible? This encouraged me to lean even further into saving and investing to see what returns I could get and how they would subsidize other costs in my life. Everyone in New Zealand complains about paying someone else's mortgage, i.e. rent, but I thought, well, what if the bank starts paying part of my rent? Maybe then I don't need to care so much about that saying. Because if they have to pay me interest on the money that I've got parked with them, I'm not really paying for all of my rent. Now the bank is subsidizing it. Or what if my dividends could help me clear some of my rent as well? Then does this whole paying someone else's mortgage thing really have that much power over me anymore? No. Anyway, recently I went back and I calculated my total interest and dividends for the 2024 financial year. Reminder, this ended 31 March 2024 here in New Zealand. I discovered that I actually had 25 grand of income. 25k, baby. That might not be a lot to some people, but this is my journey. I'm not some American influencer with millions of followers, and I know that you probably don't even care about my 25k. You probably care more about how I did this. So I want to show you what it actually took to do it. Well, surprise, it actually required some serious hard work. And guess what? That 25 grand now gets taxed at 39% for me because I'm in the top tax bracket. Unless the returns are in a pie investment structure, in which case the tax is capped at 28%, not 39%. But let's save that tax lesson for another day. So what did I do to achieve this? Well, for the big reveal, I started the 2024 financial year with 300 grand invested. Is that the secret? Well, yeah. It is. If you divide 25,000 by that 300,000, you get around an 8% return overall. Not a bad return from a Kiwi battler like me. But how did I actually get that 300 grand? Well, unfortunately, this is an extremely hard one to swallow for the younger version of myself who had hoped that these things came easy. But no. I had to work hard for it. I earned, I saved, and I invested. And I also didn't buy property. So there's the big disclaimer. I can do this because I'm not paying off a mortgage, but I still do have rent to pay, obviously. So at one stage, I removed this rent expense too. Go back and watch my video on how I stacked $100,000 in New Zealand twice. Seriously though, you should watch that video because I know some of you are gonna check out of this video right now because I'm not the classic boring Kiwi guy that's building up a property portfolio and following that path to build wealth. That's not for me, but that's for plenty of other people. But don't worry, if you're on the debt reduction path, you can still apply the same principles to get mortgage free faster. For me, as I earned more, I also tried to keep my spending in check, which was a bit challenging as my income increased. We all know that feeling, right? Here's the thing with those videos with catchy titles or things you hear online about people making money quickly and easily. Passive income this and passive income that. I used to get sucked into them all the time and would go down deep rabbit holes trying to figure out how it was all done. What I discovered was actually pretty simple. You still have to do something in life to get the cash from the after-tax income in order to be able to invest. Don't forget that these things still take hard work. This also applies to the property investors who talk about passive income, but haven't you noticed that a lot of them are still working to keep clearing debt? A lot of them are still trying to sell something. Can they stop working? Maybe, maybe not. Can I stop working? No. I've got a long way to go. 25 grand a year ain't gonna cut it. Even the retired are having to think about this. Rates are going up, insurance are going up, body corporates are going up, the cost of living is increasing. That means we need more income. Even if retirees have managed to get mortgage free, the pension, which is a passive form of income they don't have to do anything for, may not be enough to cover those outgoings. Now, one of the cool things though is that 25 grand divided by $80,000, which was my salary when I quit my job and started my new journey, is around 31%. So I've replaced 31% of my old income. What I've learned through this journey, which is my own journey and not yours, is that there are no shortcuts to financial freedom. It takes hard work, discipline, and smart investing. While it's tempting to believe in quick fixes, shortcuts, and easy money, the reality is that sustainable financial success requires effort and time. Then, it's often very boring. It becomes rinse and repeat. This is the boring bit. Earn, pay tax, continue to stack, and invest. Eventually, your investments will pay you a little drip of money. That's when it gets real and exciting. If you can make that drip of money tangible for you, like replacing one of your monthly expenses, i.e. a gym membership, it can really mean something to you rather than just numbers on a screen. Now, a reminder again that we are all on our own journey, and mine has taken me years to get to this point. I had to first start by clearing my $15,000 credit card, get out of debt and negative equity, had to just get back to break even to start with, going backwards in income to then go forwards. I needed an emergency fund. I had to stack my first $100,000 to then get some passive income streams, to then stack another $100,000. The snowball rolls, but shit, it starts slow and it can feel so frustrating. But the key point here is passive income takes time and hard work. As you consider your own financial goals, think about the steps you can take today to start building your future. Before chasing sexy passive income, you need to keep it simple. Ask yourself these questions. Are you saving and investing wisely? Are you living within your means? Are you looking for ways to increase your disposable income by decreasing one of the largest costs in New Zealand, which is housing? If not, are you truly setting yourself up for long-term success? Or are you like the younger me, jumping from one fancy video title to the next one and still not doing anything about it? Worse, jumping from one interest-free debt product to the next one and never actually stacking any racks. Remember, every push of the snowball counts. Get it rolling down the hill and it'll gain its own pace. Whether it's setting aside a bit more savings each month, learning about investment opportunities, or being mindful of your spending, these actions add up over time. Trust me. If you want more lessons like this, check out prior videos in my channel or search for the Keep the Change podcast, which nearly has 1.5 million downloads. Maybe you could help me get there.